102.5 WBAZ in the morning. My guest this morning, American stand-up comedian and mother, Paula Poundstone, winner of the American Comedy Award in 1989. She has written and starred in numerous comedy specials for HBO and Bravo and has been listed as one of the greatest stand-ups of all time by Comedy Central. Paula Poundstone's first book, There's Nothing in This Book That I Meant to Say, described as part memoir, part monologue, is now out in paperback, and her premiere comedy album, I Heart Jokes, was released in January 2009 to rave reviews and is currently one of the top 10 spoken word albums in the world. Friday, July 3rd at 8:30, she'll be performing at the West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center. Paula Poundstone, welcome back to WBAZ.
Thanks so much for having me back.
Great to talk to you 2 years later. How old are your children now?
Well, they're 2 years older. That's what happened. How old are they? They're 18, 15, and 11.
Having been a mother now for this long, I don't know, do you think the tough times are right now? Are they behind you, or do you think they're ahead of you?
Gee, I don't know. Every day feels somewhat challenging.
I hear you.
I'm sure that there are more challenges ahead. I don't think anybody's really gone through terribly rebellious anything as of yet. I never knew that I would repeat myself as many times. I don't think my parents ever did that. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means that I do it wrong. I feel like I should have go brush your teeth just stamped on my forehead. Every now and then I feel a little bit sorry for Joan Crawford. Not that I think it would be a good idea to beat your children. I don't think that at all. But I do think that it's very possible that she said no wire hangers more than once.
No wire hangers! What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
And probably nicely several times. That's not what a kid remembers.
No.
They just remember that you blew up one day.
Right.
Yeah, but there was a big, really long runway in front of it.
Well, I really enjoyed your comedy album.
Oh, thank you.
That recording, it's from a live show you did in Maine, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And did you know that was going to be the album, before you did the show, or was it a decision you made afterwards?
Oh, no, we had planned. First of all, they have wonderful audiences there, and second of all, they have a good sound engineer, and so there.
So what happened in Maine? Because it was such an amazing audience.
You know what? The truth is, although I had a really wonderful time that night, the audiences, in my experience, are always like that there.
Yeah.
Which is why when they said, let's do this, I said, well, then, it seems like a good place to do it.
Well, I love being here. This is such a great place. Just everything, from the mugs to the potential of moose. Just everything. And I know people always say to me, well, you say that now, but come back in mud season. And, no, I've been here in mud season. And, well, you're dirty, but during mud season, most of you haven't spoken to one another for months at that point. And the spring comes in, there's almost a Munchkin-land feeling to it, you know? Come out, wherever you are. It's so sweet.
They're kind of great. You know what, one of the wonderful things about Maine is when I look out across the audience, I see more gray hair than I've ever seen anywhere. And it's not because the crowd is older, because they don't dye their hair.
Right.
It's just this ease about them. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
There's just this, like, here I am, and this is what I am, and I kind of like that. I mean, I dyed my hair because HBO wanted me to. And I always tell people that was just to get the service. I mean, I regret it. Now I'm stuck, and I'm not good at it. I'm always so busy. It takes a long time to sit around and have such a stupid thing done. And I'm always so busy that by the time I get around to doing it, it generally looks like there's a strip of gaffer's tape down the center of my head. And the truth is, am I fooling anyone? I don't think so.
You never know. That could be a look.
Right, yeah. I always say to my kids, I go, if Madonna did it, everyone would.
Exactly. I mean, what I observed from that audience, that considering how much improvisation and audience interaction is a part of your comedy and your humor, the audience you had during that show in Maine just seemed like food. They just seemed to give you so much to play off of. And I guess I'm wondering, are all audiences like that?
Many. I wouldn't say all. Gee, the other night I entertained at a private job, which I was delighted to do. But I was entertaining, let me think what they were. Hold on a second. pharmaceutical licensing people.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. It was virtually impossible. I mean, I think I ended up doing fairly well, but, you know, it was really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Because my favorite thing of the evening is just the time-honored, I ask people, you know, where are you from, what do you do for a living? And, of course, everybody there did the same thing for a living, for one thing. That was, you know, part of the challenge. And the other part of the challenge is, even when I asked them to explain it to me, I have no idea what it was. And they were just, I don't know. They were pharmaceutical licensing people.
Yeah.
They were a tough crowd. But oftentimes, just there's something so wonderful about a group of people that have come out to laugh for the evening. Oftentimes, they make for just really great kind of little mini interviews.
Yeah, I'm wondering, when you do have a non-reactionary audience, such as this pharmaceutical company, do you ever end up just playing off of that? And if so, have you ever insulted an audience to their face? I hope so.
I think I did that night. I think I finally kind of said that they were, you know, just dull beyond belief. And they laughed a lot at that, as I recall.
Yeah.
I think that it was kind of the elephant in the room for a little while. You know, it was a secret that could no longer be kept.
Yeah, and you finally told the truth.
Yes, I finally had to say, gee, I don't know how you people function on a daily basis.
I'm so fascinated by your style, your spontaneous comic style, and your style is very unique to you, but there are also so very few comedians who can do what you do, and by that I mean, you know, straying from your own act, your own material, and then your spontaneity winds up being just as funny, if not funnier, than any set piece or joke. Is that improvisatory nature always been there from the beginning, or is it something that has taken you years to feel comfortable with?
Well, you know, when I first started out, I mean, literally first started out, doing my 5 minutes of open mic night in Boston in '79, I used to bus tables at a restaurant, and they had the menu on the placemat, on the, you know, paper placemat, and when the prices would go up, they'd have stacks of placemats that were useless in the basement, so I used them for typing on. And so I would type up my act on the back of the menus and, you know, work really hard at memorizing, and then I would go on, and of course I would get so nervous that the second I stepped on stage, I would forget everything that I meant to say, no matter how many days I had spent, you know, mouthing it while bussing tables. And so I was always forced to, you know, turn to the crowd and say something, you know, to sort of observe something at somebody's table and, you know, and try to get somewhere with it. And of course I thought it was a terrible mistake. It was clearly because I was, you know, not good at what I was doing that I was forced to do that. I can't remember at what point I realized that as much as I like to write jokes, and I do, and I have a lot of funny ones in my acts that have to do with politics or current events or my life, I can't remember at what point I realized, you know, that the real gold, the real magic, was in the room in front of me.
Where do you live, sir? Do you say, here we go? Talk about easily entertained. Sir? Jesus, just thinking about it's kind of stunned you. You live in New Hampshire? Oh, I'm staying in New Hampshire. I didn't want to stay in Maine because I know how you feel about outsiders. Where in New Hampshire do you live, sir? Where? Guilford. Don't know it. It's next to Laconia. Well, now I know it. I kind of use Laconia like the North Pole, you know what I mean? Anytime anybody gives me directions, I say, well, where is it from Laconia? That's great, but how far is it from Laconia?
It's like a touchstone of reality. You keep coming back to the present and what's right in front of you, like you said. I mean, there must have been a big realization because you realized that what you had been thinking about as your biggest mistake really ended up being your greatest virtue in a way.
Yeah, it was kind of like Dumbo. I have kind of a huge Rolodex in my head as well of material. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Wow. If you ask somebody in the crowd, what do you do for a living? And he or she answers, I'm a lawyer. Do you ever remember material that you might have written 10 years ago about a lawyer?
Oh, absolutely.
And that comes right back to you?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have hours on lawyers, sadly. I would rather not have hours on lawyers.
Oh, who wants hours on lawyers?